Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that this video finds you well wherever you're watching us. Maybe you could let us know where you're watching, if you're in Kenya, which county, and if you are in the diaspora, which country are you in? You will bear with me. Children are back at home for the holidays, and there's a lot of noise in the background because they are playing. They are part of the society and the community. Ladies and gentlemen, Susan Nakhumicha is the health CS in the Ruto's government. She was given a very delicate docket, and currently she's hanging very precariously because her fate is not known. Many experts are confronting Nakhumicha because they're saying that the manner in which she is dealing with the doctor's strike is actually wanting. There is another school of thought that believes that maybe her education credentials does not match the status of a person who should handle doctors, people who have gone to school for a period of 6 years. And someone was saying that if someone who is studying medicine would join as a first year when William Ruto was sworn in, then William Ruto will do his 5-year term and retire before this person completes, before this person graduates. And it's a long year that we'd only expect that when they come to serve us, we treat them with respect. Today, Wycliffe Oparanya lectured Nakhumicha on how to deal with the doctors, and he told her that you should desist from trying to attack the doctors in public, in funerals. Ensure that you talk to the doctors nicely in closed-door meetings so that you don't behave as if you don't understand what you're doing. Kindly listen to Oparanya.
CS Health, na kushukuru sana, kazi yako umejaribu. Lakini mambo ya udaktari si mambo ya kuongea kwa matanga. And I'm surprised you have sat here the whole time. I would be thinking you would be somewhere working on doctors. You are talking, waje nimwambie, I have been a governor and I have dealt with the doctors. You are dealing with the chaps who had A minus. These are clever people than even yourself. I don't know what you got. These are people who has an opportunity not to go to a government hospital, but in the evening they go to a private hospital and they make their own money. So they can sustain that strike for as long as they want. Kama nurses wakimisi mshahara mbili, sasa wanatendea, wana pesa ya kutumia kwa nyumba. Lakini daktari, they will go on. They can go on for a year. So sit down, let the president get involved because our people are suffering.
As we continue with the discussion, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us for the first time, allow me to request you to subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell to allow YouTube to notify you whenever we release a video like this. Kindly give this video a thumbs up and help us share videos to all our subscribers. Thank you very much. I want to thank you in a very, very special way. Now, that was Wycliffe Oparanya, the former governor of Kakamega, one who had dealt directly with the doctors because, you know, health was devolved. Under the devolved system, governors are now dealing directly with the doctors. Wamuchomba said this, and there was a communication to Nakhumicha. She told her, CS Nakhumicha, I have much respect for you, but you can't threaten doctors when they voice their grievances. Sacking them is escapism. When the head of public service came into this discussion, we are tempted to believe the president's agony that CSS have no capacity, save for a few. There was a time when Felix Kosgei, who's the head of public service, was called and he discussed this. And people thought, if Nakhumicha has the capacity of dealing with the doctors, why is Felix Kosgei coming in? And that is what Gadon is saying, that maybe we can now understand the president's agony. There was a time the president said that when he asks some of these cabinet secretaries something that is pertinent to their dockets, then he realizes that they don't know, that he actually knows more than them who are supposed to give more insight. And he was telling them, you have a lot of materials at the fingertips, you can read to know much. And she's been told threats cannot work. You know, there was a time I was working in one of the communication companies in the country, and I was a shop steward. When people are negotiating for these CVAs, there are always heated debates. And in the boardroom, people can always disagree. But you see, one rule is that you don't go outside there threatening people. When you are inside, the boardrooms and you're negotiating, you can say anything with a lot of respect, but people will always disagree. And it is allowed. But once you walk outside the door, you don't go and start issuing, threats to the doctors there. And Nakhumicha must understand that the reason why people are on her neck is because she is dealing with a very delicate matter that is touching on people's lives. I met someone who was going to a hospital when this strike started. Na alikuwa anabahatisha. She was telling me, wacha tu nibahatisha iwapo nitapata mtu mmoja mbili hapo. Within a short period, she came back and she was telling me, sijapata madaktari, alikuwa na mtoto alikuwa mgonjwa. So we are dealing with matters that are touching on lives. This is not something that you take casually and you start issuing threats. Even if you sack the doctors today, the ones whom you will be employing, they will come because they are desperate for jobs. But in a matter of 1 or 2 years, they will start all over again. Respect the CBO that you agreed upon. And you must let doctors understand that you value them. Because when you are negotiating and you make them feel that they're useless and you want to treat them casually, then you are making matters worse. Whenever you are in a discussion with a team like doctors, let them feel valued. Let them feel that you understand the value of their work, the precarious nature of their job, so that they will also come in with a touch of sympathy. And we know when you show some people that you understand them, then it is always a give and take. But you go outside there to start threatening them. These are people you cannot just go on threatening. Number two, there is a general feeling that maybe Nakhumicha does not feel the value of the education that doctors undergo. Oparanya was mocking her that these are people who had A's and A minuses. If you ever went to school, people who chose to be doctors or engineers or lawyers are those people who are termed as the cream of the class, those people who pass well. Someone who spends over 5 years in school is not someone that comes to serve us and then you want to threaten them. And people feel that maybe Nakhumicha did not, maybe she's not a medic per se, because you'd feel the pain. If you are a doctor or you studied medicine and you are in charge of doctors, then you will understand their pain, and the manner in which you deal with them will be very different. And people are questioning the credentials of a certificate. This is something that came up sometimes back, and Oparanya was repeating it. I don't know what you got. That's what Oparanya was telling her. And Oparanya asserts that for the doctors, these are people who are learned, and they can as well go back to private hospitals in the evening, and they can sustain these demonstrations as long as it stays. You are also showing that you are incompetent when you start issuing threats. You know, one of the reasons why you are in charge of a docket is to handle people. You are in charge of education, you must know how to handle teachers and lecturers who are learned. And when you are there and they doubt your capacity and your education level, you are in trouble. You must show that you are par excellence to the work that you are doing. And so Nakhumicha is only, trying to show that she's incompetent. There's a way you must deal with people with decorum. You don't spend much time in funerals Because when you do that, you're behaving like a politician. Politicians are the people who are allowed to go to funerals and harambes at every public space, and they attack each other and they want to justify a point on funerals or in these public forums. But as a minister, you are not allowed to politic. Spend time in your office. You have technocrats. How do you deal with the situation before you? Consult, the president and the deputy and all that, how you can avert this. Because by the end of the day, the buck stops with the minister, the cabinet secretary. And if your hands are tied and maybe William Ruto is not giving you space, tell the people, tell the public. But the way Nakhumicha is behaving, those are not the qualities of a cabinet secretary. She's not supposed to be, trying to justify things on funerals. She's not a politician. We believe that she was appointed there because she's a technocrat. She understands the value of the medics and the value of life. And ladies and gentlemen, I think Oparanya was very right, and Gathoni Wamuchomba is right. Maybe the reason why Felix Kosgei came in is because she's incompetent. I don't know. How I wish that we resolve this as soon as possible so that our people can get treatment. We are, Kenyans are being bedeviled with a lot of problems, poverty, insecurity. If you add into diseases that they cannot afford even to go to hospitals because doctors are on strike, then it's funny. Doctors understand the budget and they see how State House has been allocated much money. The office of deputy president spending millions to buy curtains, the office of the first lady, and they wonder what value do these offices have. For example, the office of the first lady and the second lady and the wife of the chief cabinet secretary, what value do they have? Instead of wasting that money there, they should give it to doctors. We must prioritize well if we have to develop as a country. That's my take.